How does innovation matter, especially in today's day and age? Is it just a beautiful luxury? When we talk about innovation, we have to start all the way out. Carl Sagan once said that if you want to make an apple pie from scratch, you have to start with the universe. Well, if we want to talk innovation, we have to start with this pale blue dot in the middle of space, where we all get to live on. For a whole generation, we've had pictures of Earth from space. We realize that ultimately we're one humanity living on one very, very frail ecosystem in the middle of space. And it's like a spaceship protecting us from the world around us. The problem is our spaceship is on fire, and we can't just step outside. We need lots of new solutions fast. Unfortunately, most of our solutions are created in organizations that are devoid of real purpose, that have teams that don't know how to collaborate, and individuals who come to work hiding and covering who they really are. The good news is you can change that. And it's more than just change, it's a transformation. Change happens all the time. Things go from A to B to C to Z. Right? You've already changed 3 times since breakfast. We always change. Transformation is when we cease to exist in one point, go on a freaky journey that we don't even know what's going on before we pop up in a new place as somebody completely new. We've experienced some of that in 2020, the Great Reset, when suddenly the world was upside down and life as we knew it ceases to exist. We realize we live in a time of VUCA, where things are volatile, changing even overnight, where even in spite of the fact we have more data than ever, things are more uncertain than ever. And the world has become more complex. We realize that what happens in Beijing does matter in Boston, does matter in Berlin, and makes a difference in Bangalore. We are connected around the world, and there's way more players in the game than ever before. And they're changing over time, making it beyond complicated, making it complex. And all that is creating a lot of ambiguity. It's not quite clear anymore what's right and wrong. The good news, when everything is up in the air, it's our opportunity to actually think about what future we want to create. And innovation is really that, creating the future, changing how we live on this planet, creating new ways of being. And it used to be the privilege of the few, hidden in skunk works with cool furniture, fun toys and tools. But now we need all hands on deck, and innovation has to become that of the many, where we all find new solutions every day. There's an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go by yourself, and if you want to go far, go together. So we have to learn to create together in new ways, not just execute on our job functions, but create the future actively. And for that, we need multiple perspectives on the table. Innovation requires many perspectives because really none of us knows what's going on. Similar to the story of the blind man and the elephant, where they walked around the road and came upon an elephant, and the first one thought it was a wall, the second thought it was a tree, the fourth thought it was a palm tree, and they got into a fist fight about who's right. But instead of that, we get to realize that none of us actually can see the elephant. None of us knows what the future is. None of us knows what's right and wrong. We all just have and bring our own unique perspective. And especially in times of uncertainty, we need more perspectives than ever. And we have to hold each other accountable to create together, to come out from a place of authenticity where we're truly showing up as our full self, in an environment that's psychologically safe, where we can be ourselves, and fostered through clarity and clear agreements and feedback and acknowledgement that we give each other to make sure that we keep our attention on the things that matter on purpose. And for that, we have to create ourselves. We have to understand that each of us is a verb, as Buckminster Fuller said, that each of us is in a laboratory of constant evolution. That if you want to create new outcomes, we do need to engage in new behaviors, all those innovation tools, design thinking, lean, agile, those new kind of behaviors, but those require us to have a completely new mindset, to really think of ourselves as creators. Because each of us is creating ripples. Each of us is like a drop falling into the ocean, creating ripples around us. How we show up, each of us is by default showing what we think a human being can be. We're all prototypes of humanity. And as we show up differently, we also affect culture. This ephemeral thing that happens in the interference patterns between how each of us show up. That's where culture emerges. And if we all show up in a new way, if we show up fully as creators, owning that we are all alive, part of life, here to make this planet work, here to make Spaceship Earth work, then we can create a future where we want to live in, and we would want our children to live in. We're all called to create the future. That's what innovation is really about.